You changed. You stopped being you.
What's the deal, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Cultivated Minds, and today we're going to be talking about why you don't fit in. Check it out. You know, I know a lot of people probably feel uncomfortable, or, you know, maybe they feel like they're in this world but not of it. And, you know, we just in a time where, you know, a lot of people are doing a whole lot of backwards things, I say. And you might feel like you just don't fit in. The real question is, you know, why do people feel any type of way when they don't fit in? When we was born to stand out. You know, I think a lot of times you might just be like a individual, you know, a real individual. You know, when you authentic, you stay true to yourself, you know, you can speak your truth no matter who it is, you know, you ain't got no like ego issues, whatever the case. You might tell somebody when you feel like you wasn't as, you know, strong in a certain moment, or, you know, maybe you might feel like you didn't handle something the right way, or you could have gone through something. You just keep it real at all times. It's probably hard to have too many friends or too many people around you, you know, or you could be one of those people who let's say that you grew up in a certain type of family. You know, they got certain ideologies, you know, maybe certain religious practices, certain things that they want you to do that probably was never in alignment with you. When you start challenging those things, you know, within your own self, or you even could be challenging them, you know, asking different questions and thinking outside the box opposed to whatever the group think is in your environment, how you grew up, people tend to look at you different. You know, you might feel like you don't really fit in, but to me that, you know, that shows strength. You know, that's courage. The fact that you can actually go outside of your beliefs and, you know, question things. You know, you questioning like all the things that everybody around you believe in, because, you know, as human nature, we tend to group think a lot more. So when you do start doing things like that, you know, it tends to make you a lot more silent, because somebody might have told you like, you know, you shouldn't be thinking that way, or that's not true, or that's not, or even if you have facts or research or, you know, data behind it, you know, a lot of people, they have emotional attachments to probably like people or, you know, environments that they're around. They don't want to, you know, really even think about stuff like that. Or, you know, you can even be a person who, you know, you got values you go by, or, you know, there's something that that you believe in truly or wholeheartedly. You know, there's certain people that you wouldn't want to be around, or that you know, question. And, you know, you could be around, you know, and a lot of people, they might have seen this person did something, or they know how this person is, but maybe because it's like their family, or, you know, their friend, or whatever the relationship is, you know, like I said, they have that emotional attachment. And, you know, they'll continuously be around that person regardless if it's not in alignment with them or what they believe in. But then you might be the person to be like, no, I'm not cool with that. You know, I'd rather not be around certain people. You know, I'd rather be on my lonesome. I don't want to be around that. That's not what I believe in. I stand for something. You know, I stand for at least something. You know, some of them people like, oh, well, that's your brother, or that's this and that. But you might be the person to be like, well, we ain't really on the same path. We on the same thing. I'm not saying that everybody got to be on the same exact thing as you or whatever, but when somebody does something that's like 100% against like what you believe, or, you know, what you, the path you trying to walk on, it's kind of like really hard to be able to, you know, kind of have those things mixed together. So then when you kind of question that, like, nah, that ain't cool. You know, I'm a move to the side. I'm a lay low, you know. I'm not really going to deal with that kind of environment or that kind of person. People tend to, you know, look at you a certain way, you know, like, oh, you know, this person acts a certain way. Or you can even say, when you just start trying to elevate your perspective. What I mean by that, let's say you start, you know, looking at maybe the weaknesses that you have, or the things that you used to do, or maybe the way you acted, or just you trying to change something. Let's even say that maybe you're a person who you tend to not take a lot of things serious as much. You always thinking everything is a joke. Maybe you try to, you know, turn that around. You want to start thinking everything is more so, you taking everything more serious. You're trying to do more research. You want to read more books. A lot of the people that you was always around or have been around, they tend to only put you in a box of the person that you were when you were about 3 years old. No matter how much you grow, how much you try to accomplish, how much better you try to do, I think being around certain environments and certain people is like only so much you're able to grow. That's why you'll see a lot of people, you know, let's say even celebrity or something, they might move all the way out their hometown or you might go somewhere different and everybody, you know, acting like, you know, you switched up or you changed, or but that's not really the case. You're just really trying to elevate your perspective. Now, if you're a person who, you know, acting bougie or something, or you feel like you better than others, that's a whole another situation. But what I'm getting at is, you know, you're a person who just trying to change a lot of ways, bad habits that you have, you know, weaknesses, maybe addictions, you know, just trying to overcome a lot of things. A lot of times those people will hold you back. They're going to keep holding you accountable for maybe the mistakes you made when you was a kid, or the things that you did when you was younger. Oh, you wasn't even always like that. I know this person. They not even like it. But how is a person going to tell you who you truly are? You know, only you going to know who you truly are, and you going to make the best out of that person. So that's another reason why you're probably not fitting in. And also, you might be a person who might just be a loner, you know? And like I always say, don't get being a loner confused with being lonely, because there's an inner strength within most loners. You know, you might be a person that you see through a lot of people's facade. You see through the bullshit. You ain't really here for the greed, for the attention, you know, for the fame, the clout, all that type of bullshit. And a lot of people gonna try to, like, you know, shun you out, like, you know, you the odd one out or something like that. But really, half the time, they know the truth. They just don't want you to really expose it or put it out there. They rather just kind of go along with it, you know. Some people just float, you know. Oh, this person, they're doing good, so I'm gonna be around them, even if like it's a person who, you know, do all type of BS, you know, be out here doing people wrong, you know, not even taking care of themselves type thing. They just, you know, people get blinded maybe by the material illusions that they see in a person or within a person, you know, and that can be a big reason why you don't really fit in, because you might see through people's BS, and a lot of people don't want to be around it. They rather, you know, live in these facades, you know, like my boy Young Pharaoh say, you know, how did a lot of people consciously express themselves? A lot of people, you know, consciously express themselves, you know, with a lot of fake shit, with illusions, you know, with smoke in the mirror. So when you're not fitting what people, the illusions people want to see, they usually gonna kind of shun you out, like, you know, like you the outcast and things like that. Another thing I'll say is you probably do a lot of inner work. You know what I'm saying? You do a lot of self-reflection. See, that's the hardest thing to do. A lot of times we want to sit and we want to judge everybody else. We want to talk shit about people, you know, compete against one another, things like that. But when it really comes to reflecting on who we are and the mistakes we made and how we can become a better person, most people tend to not do that. So let's say that you in a group setting, right? And everybody, you know, probably talking stuff about a person. It could be true, but maybe you like, you know what? Man, why we always, you know, like doing this? Gossiping. That's the word I'm gonna use. That's what it is. Why we like gossiping about this person, or why we talking shit about this person? They all gonna look at you kind of like what? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the norm. But then really all you doing is challenging what everybody thinking, because you trying to, like, we just gotta become, you know, better mentality type people. Like, while we on this, we should, like, you know, be more so submitting to our higher self. Like, we always, like, I don't know, you know, talk about certain people, or we always gotta, like, judge certain people's actions. You trying to change things like that, they gonna start, you know, shunning you. Like I said, another reason why you might fit in, you just authentic. You know, you still got that childlike aura. You know, you can be real. You say things out loud. People can't believe that you actually said, you know, you just speak your truth a lot of times. And, you know, like I said before, some people, they don't really want to speak those kind of things. You know, they want to, I said, live in that facade, be on a whole nother game plan. You know, they always trying to figure out a way to one up somebody, things like that. Another reason you don't fit in, you don't really care to compete. You know, you might be having a conversation with somebody, wherever the case is, and might be like, how much do you lift or whatever? You might tell them whatever, and then they, oh, well, I lift this amount or wherever the case is, and you might kind of be like, that's cool, I'm proud of you, because you don't care. That shit don't matter to you. You're not even in that world. You know, it's you versus you. You know, you trying to elevate yourself. You trying to become 1% better each day. You know, you trying to become that next best person for you. You ain't here to, you know, show somebody else that you better, give the world all this, you know, and give other people validation, stuff like that. You kind of giving yourself validation. You already validated yourself. Another reason why you don't fit in, you tend to have a deeper perspective on things. You know, maybe you feel like you like to go past the surface level of thoughts. Let's say that the news or mainstream media or whatever told you that something happened. You want to do a lot more of your own research. You want to like put two and two together. You want to look more deeper in things. People might tell you, I think you're just looking too deep into it, but you know, those are a lot of people that usually fit in. That doesn't work for you. You know, you do a lot more analyzation on things. You want to you take your emotion out of it, and you want to look at it from a logical perspective on both sides, opposed to what everybody else is, you know, seeing with it. And a lot of times, you know, people gonna look at you strange for that, because like I said, you got your own ideas. You know, you think for yourself. You're not caring about what they talking about on Twitter. You're not listening to what they talking about on Instagram. You're not listening to what they talking about on YouTube. You taking everything with a grain of salt. And there's a disclaimer, yeah, question everything I say also, but you taking everything with a grain of salt, and you doing your own research also to figure out if this is something that resonates with you or if it's true or not. And that's how you're gonna go about your own business. And a lot of times people, they might just want to take it for face value, and that's what it is. And another thing I say when you don't fit in, you know, I think it's when you start to move in a different way. You know, everybody is so used to having that group think around. You know, they want you to always, you know, attend these events or these parties and things like that, but then you might just kind of be like, that ain't really my style no more. I can't really intermingle with everybody no more. It's only a select few that can be around me, because I'm not really into, you know, the BS or, you know, the fake socializing and showing love on the internet or whatever. And, you know, we ain't really that solid in person. You more here for the real shit. You know what I'm saying? You might feel like you can be around a group of people, but you still got your own mentality. And a lot of people, when you not, the birds of the feather flock together, when you're not having them ideology and stuff they have too, they gonna look at you like, oh, this person, you know, was weird, or they ain't got this idea. Because a lot of times, you know, the group thing is powerful. They all already coming together thinking a certain way. But when you questioning it and you thinking with your own thoughts, coming with your own theory, if 6 people against one, it's kind of like most time all 6 are gonna go together. There might be that one that deep down thinks something, but they might be afraid to speak it out loud. But there's usually that's what they gonna go together, and they ain't gonna really, you ain't gonna be able to speak what your truth is. So you tend to just kind of, you know, be more to you. But, you know, that's all I really had to say, you guys. Just trying to get you guys to think. But this Cultivated Minds, and I'm signing out.